Yo guys, what is happening with Untitled Games, and welcome to another Minecraft City Tour. We're back here again with Folded Tomato, formerly known as DB Games, and we're back in Oak Point, right? It's Oak Point, right? Yes.
We are.
Now, he doesn't want to
Yeah,
talk too
Oak
much,
Point.
but, I think we're going to have to kind of force it. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, check it out, guys. You might remember this view from about, I guess it's 9 months ago now. We were just talking about it. In this city, it's expanded a lot.
Changed a lot.
Yeah. And so I'm excited to kind of take a look here at what's changed, and we'll walk through it, of course, and see everything there is. Depending on how long this video is, we might split up into two parts. We might not. We'll see how we go. But that's kind of the plan. We also got a couple shout-outs we wanted to give, or at least Fold Tomato wanted to give to some people. So some channels, or some subscribe to some YouTube channels linked right here. Yours is on the left, right?
Yeah, and then this is my mate Starkiller, who
Cool.
helps me with a lot of things in the world, like commands and filling in areas and cloning buildings and things like that.
Right on. And both of those will be linked down below if you want to check them out. Highly recommend that you do. And with that said, I think
Thanks,
we're ready
mate.
to start the tour. All right. So is this like one of the main streets, or is there a main street?
It's just a lot of random streets, basically. The roads lead where the buildings are, I suppose.
Right.
Or buildings lead where the roads are. It's just random. I should have planned this out a lot more.
Right.
I mean, when I first started the world, I didn't really have a clue how to make a decent world, so I just made roads randomly going everywhere. But now I've got so much I can't change anything.
Right. So, but you were also saying to me earlier that you changed like most of this world since the last time that we saw it, which I think is pretty cool, because I think most city builders, I think, would just kind of give up or start a new world, and they don't usually last that long. They get bored of things or whatever. I like the fact that you've came on here like a real city and actually gone ahead and changed a bunch of things, and they kind of are updated to your current building style, and so then they sort of still match and all fit in together nicely, right?
Yeah. Well, since you last toured the world, almost everything that you saw in that video has gone and been replaced.
That's crazy.
And now I'm thinking it's actually starting to look fairly decent, I would
For
say.
sure. And I'm gonna,
I mean, looking back now, it looked awful. The world, so.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely
You may recognise
improved
this
quite a
building,
bit.
though. This is still standing.
It's a couple still standing. I think the
Yeah,
level of detail
I think we're inside here.
in these is all pretty great. Yeah, I remember this actually. And this is no, I don't remember this actually. I thought there was like a fish tank or something in here. I have no idea. Is this a staircase though? We went up here, didn't we? Or no, it's a
That
ladder.
was in the building we started on.
Oh,
It had
okay.
the little fish
But
tank.
this is just, and there's not interiors in most buildings, but you said there are in certain ones, right?
Well, because this is an old building. A load of people who joined the world a while ago just sort of made like a little apartment in here.
Right. So they would like
Sort of just
actually use
stayed.
them and have them as their houses or whatever. Cool. Yeah, I think
This is
there's
still.
so much great detail in these old style buildings that this is still here from the wasn't there like a record shop here or something?
These
Or
are quite old, but everything around
I
here
remember
is
this
new.
store.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I
I'm
keep
always
talking
getting
over you, sorry.
distracted. Yeah, I was just gonna say the style in this. I think people can get a lot of inspiration from it, because sometimes it's hard to create. Definitely like row buildings, but older style buildings as well. And in here we see a lot of great, different designs and whatnot. Just like everything's got different design. I don't know how you can come up with this much different stuff, but it's really cool to see.
This is all new. I made these pretty recently.
Sorry, I've lost you again.
Where have you gone?
I'm stuck at the
You're
end. Oh,
down
there you
there.
are. Okay, you're blending in with the road.
It's gonna be a real pain trying to go around everywhere because all the roads are pretty random, which I'm really annoyed at myself for doing. I should have tried to do it in a grid pattern, but everything's all over the place.
But
It's
again,
just
if you went to an old
pain in
city,
the arse to get around.
if you went to an old European, I guess, city, and I don't know this because I haven't been to Europe, but I'm assuming that it would be kind of like that, right? Because it was very unplanned and a lot of windy roads, I know.
Yeah.
So in some way, that actually adds a little bit of realism to it, right?
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't thought of it that way, but
Yeah,
alright.
maybe. I don't know. I love how you have all these little storefronts, though, at the bottom of all these buildings, and they kind of add a lot of detail when you're
They're all
walking around
empty,
and
though.
whatnot. Yeah, they're all empty, but it still adds the detail. Is this a fire station?
Yeah. This is a fairly old build.
Cool.
I'm keeping it there for now, though. I might redo it. These are all sort of new old style buildings.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
this was here in the original
I was gonna say, I think I remember
uh,
this one.
original tour video.
Yeah.
And also, if you're wondering why the street lights are sort of like that, sat on the stair block,
Oh,
is
yeah.
because I've gone round and redone all of the roads and put quartz stairs lining them, to sort of give them a bit more,
A
give them
little
a
bit
bit
more
more
depth
detail.
for sure.
Yeah,
But then
because
they
I wish I could change my roads. I really wish I could
to make them
because
bigger or
I mean they're unrealistically small, the roads.
right.
But like I said earlier, when I first started this world, I had no clue how to do it, and now the world is massive. I can't actually change any of the roads here because that would mean moving everything.
I mean, like redoing all the
So I'm
buildings
sort
and
of
moving
stuck with
them
these tiny
back
little
and
roads.
yeah.
Yeah, it must be
I like
must be an absolute
what is this
pain in
gas?
the
Is this a
arse.
gas station? BP
Yeah,
must be a petrol
BP
station, I guess what you
Ultimate.
would call it.
I think it's it's in the UK. I'm not sure whether it is in America or not. Might be, probably
Yeah, I'm not
might not.
sure.
But there was actually an old gas station around here. I don't know if you remember it. It was on this block here.
Oh boy, now I gotta try to find you. Oh,
I'll
there we go.
TP you
Yeah,
to
you know
me.
that always
There
just
was
works
actually
a
a
lot
gas
better.
station here.
Oh, really? And this is just over.
But
Oh,
no,
this is
now it's
back
all
by the fire
buildings on here.
station. Okay.
But
Yeah,
no, like I
this is.
say, I've changed so much.
Mhm. It's crazy because again, like usually I'd recognize stuff, but it almost feels like I guess the roads and everything make it feel like the same. But then again, the buildings have all changed, and my memory isn't amazing enough to remember every building. But I'm definitely seeing a few things that I remember. But most of it's changed. Like this, for example, I remember you had this last time, and I was fascinated by it because I thought it looked really cool. It looked like an old fort.
Yeah, but this was all water. But I filled this all and made buildings on it because just a bit too much of a weird gap
Right.
where there was just water. So I filled that, and I made just like you say, I've still got this bit here where all
Mhm.
this water is, and that little really old bridge. But
And then the
Mhm.
Oak Point sign.
yeah, I was saying to you earlier, I might get rid of that.
Mhm.
It just looks a bit random in the
Yeah,
middle of it.
because when I was here
Middle of the
last,
city's having a
the
hill.
mountain ran from here all the way through, like back here, all the way downtown. Now I have a cursor to
Yeah,
show you, but
and all the way down
all the
there
way
to
that
where
way.
that Oak Times Tower is,
Yeah, and you were suggesting
or
maybe
even further.
making, or you were talking about making some sort of mansion
Yeah,
district, kind of like Hollywood
yeah, mansions
inspired.
on top of it.
Did you ever get around to
Yeah,
doing
I
that and then
scrapped that
removing
idea.
them, or did you just skip it?
No, I just got rid of the hill. No, I
Just
thought
like
it would
more
look a little bit
buildings.
weird.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. So there's one more area that I want to touch on over here, and then maybe we can head more into the downtown area. But I just wanted to come back over to this park, and I got a little bit lost, of course, because I'm bad at directions and everything. But I got a little lost and all that, which is cool because it felt like I was, in a real city that I've never been to before. This was here though, this park, right?
this is still here. Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
still here
I
from
haven't
last
done
time.
anything with this since you last saw.
And are all these buildings
And this
around
is where
it
you did the.
kind of the same?
All of these have changed,
Right.
apart from those three over there. But this is where we did the original thumbnail on top of this church here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember the church for sure. This is one that I haven't forgotten. And you got the stained glass in it, which looks awesome, and then the tower, of course, which we'll run up here real quick.
I've redone and made an entire new wing on the church.
Oh, it's been expanded.
Do you want me to TP you up to top?
I'm running in circles and making
And then
everybody
you
feel
end up.
sick. There we go. We're at the top. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
this is where the
where we
original
did.
thumbnail
Yep,
was,
and
but
you can see it's
it's sort of
changed.
quite different.
Wow. And then there's
Where
a
was
cemetery
I?
back here. Was that here last time? Maybe I can't remember.
I think it was. But no, I've extended the church out
On this side
to
here.
make it look a little bit more. Well,
That's
make it
cool.
look
I
a lot
love how you
better
do that.
because
I love how you'll
the
go
tower looked too tall for how big the actual part of the church was.
for sure. I just like how you go back and you modify things and change things to bring them up to the standards or whatever it is. If you want to even you add an addition to a building, like that's pretty cool. You don't hear about that a lot in Minecraft, which is really awesome. And is this some some wall art or some graffiti art or whatever it's called, or is it some sort of logo on the side of
Yeah.
this building?
Yes, I don't know. It's just sort of a detail to add to a blank wall. Really.
Right,
You
no,
don't want to leave
it's
it blank, otherwise it wouldn't really
Yeah,
look
that won't look very good.
that good.
What's going on here?
But
Is this a building site?
yeah, this is a bit. I don't know. I know this wasn't it last time.
Yeah, I don't think I remember this.
Sorry.
That's pretty cool though, and they're just putting up the
Right.
forms of the foundations for the new build.
Where do you want to go then?
I think
you can lead the way.
Yeah, why don't we head into the bigger city? We'll probably make this all one part just to keep things simple. Oh, I love the roundabouts. I mean, I know they're on the old roads,
It'll just
but
take
still.
forever to go around everything.
Yeah, but I think I mean,
Let me
even
set
in
it
the
today
older
for you
stuff
so you can actually see.
we've seen a lot of cool stuff. Like these, like it's just every building you could take a look at, and you could just get some inspiration from it, get some ideas and whatnot. I mean, even this stuff with the details down here and the stairs looks really cool. I really like this building actually. I'm quite a fan of this one and the one beside it as well. And I know you showed me the Victorian ones too, which I'm excited to go see here in this video because those were looking really cool as
I'm quite
well.
proud of how this one's turned out.
Yeah, this is really
Oh,
cool.
this is one of my favorite
super
buildings.
detailed. Looks super like it just looks really good. Yeah, definitely. I'm
And
a fan of this
Sandstone one as
area.
well.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, this set of buildings here,
Yeah,
like it
this
just
is
stood
all-
out to me.
Yeah.
But they're very cool.
Yeah, they're a lot more detailed than the smaller ones down that
Yeah,
way.
because I guess you have more room to work with too, right? And the scale's a little bit bigger when you're working on some bigger buildings. You can add more depth in the walls without it looking too strange. Because you have 3 blocks of depth here, technically, right? You have or 4 actually, because you have the windows set back 1, and then you have an outline in the clay, then you have an outline in the stone brick, and then you have the walls running up the side.
And the wall, yeah.
Like that's cool, and that gives you this really crazy depth perspective, I suppose. And same sort of deal over here actually. And this one's quite funny because I didn't even notice it the same way. But it, I guess since it's all end stone brick, but it's the same sort of idea with the depth there. Really cool
I think it's one
stuff.
of the only buildings I've actually made out of end stone in this world.
Right. And now
I'm
we
not
get.
really sure if I'm a huge fan of the block, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I haven't used it too
there you
much
go.
myself. We enter into this sort of new modern area over here now with the British flag. That's awesome. And this would be like an office building, I'm guessing, or a condominium, or.
I don't know. It's just a building.
Cool.
I just make buildings sort of fill the space. Yeah, this is
This is a very
that
New
part's
York
big,
New York
like,
style
in the world.
office building over here. Is that cobwebs? No, it's not cobwebs. It's
Around?
diorite. That's cool.
Oh, it's a
I didn't know you
diorite
could
wall,
combine them
yeah.
like that. This looks really good. This looks like a very New York like office building. And then you've got the base
Yeah,
outline with
it's well. I
sandstone.
think is it 70s, 60s or 70s style
Yeah, I'd say
building,
probably something like
office
that
building.
with the totally gray stone colors, right?
Yeah, no, I've done the cobblestone wall for a bit of a different block for the top.
Did you add that on afterwards?
So like
or-
what the original.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, I just did that with the build. Sort of like with the what the original World Trade Center towers did. At the top, they had a darker section,
Oh, cool.
so try to recreate that there.
That's awesome. Yeah, it adds a nice bit of detail there, and it definitely defines the top of the building and the bottom of them with the sandstone and with the cobble at the top. And then this building over here, this is quite a funky shape
lost.
actually. Sorry, I'm at the one right next to it. With the gray and the black stained glass. And this is like a
This
little more of
was
a modern
actually
one.
very different. This building was very different, but
Mm.
after I made those 2 sandstone towers over there,
Mm-hmm. Which we'll get
I sort of
to.
wanted them because this is taller than those 2 buildings. I wanted them to sort of be the focal point, like the tallest buildings in this area.
Right.
So I've basically cut this building in half and sort of left it like that. I'm not sure whether I like it or not, to be honest.
I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, and I like you have the little plaza and some trees in there as well, which again adds just like, more of a realism feel. I've learned that in this game through playing now, the number one thing that I think I was missing in my cities, and maybe still am arguably, is the trees. Like the trees add so much because that's what you have in real life, and the greenery and the color and whatnot. So I think it looks really cool. Unfortunately, it looks like you got the acacia, did you? Or the desert grass?
Yeah, I think that's what I told you last time you talked. That I hate the biome that the
Yeah.
world's built on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
No,
do
that's
anything about
brutal.
it.
Yeah, they need to add something that allows you to fix that. Okay, let's go to these ones. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is the World Trade Center.
Yes, well, my sort of take.
Your take on the World
uh,
Trade Center,
World
not
Trade
not
Center.
obviously accurate. Different color, first of all, which is that would stand out.
different
but
color, different shape, different
different
layout, but
but the idea here is pretty much the same, I suppose. The tops you were explaining.
yeah,
the
I
one
took
has
inspiration
the
from World Trade 1 and 2.
right, and the one
I'm
has.
sorry, go on. I'm talking
No,
over
no
you.
worries. No, that's good. The one has the pillar. I couldn't even get my words. I don't even know what to call this thing. The the radio tower. That's why you just
There's
can
a
wait for me
radio
to finish.
antenna on top of the North Tower.
Right, so that's what that is, and that's sort of where we got that idea from. And is this building there also in real
Yeah.
life? Or I guess it was there?
No, I just added. No, because what you had on the original World Trade Center, you had World Trade 1 and 2, which were the Twin Towers. Then you had, I think it was 3 darker, smaller buildings around it. Then you had the Marriott Hotel in between the 2 buildings.
Huh, I didn't even know that.
So the layout for this is completely different, and I just added this one in the middle for sort of like a nice effect. If you come over here, you can
Cool.
sort of see them 2 in the background of that.
Let's see. Oh yeah. No, it definitely gives off like a really cool look. I'm liking that quite a bit. I like how you have the little bit coming out from it as well to maybe, maybe that would be a restaurant or a store or whatnot underneath, or even just a cafeteria, I guess anything. Um the park over here is also really cool, and this tree is quite something as well. Is this based off something in real life, or
Yeah,
is
this
this just your own, park you've
well
added?
the what they called? Is it granite? Yeah, the granite lines were actually part of the original World Trade Center Plaza, where they had a big sort of statue and a fountain in the I think it was the bottom right hand corner of the plaza, and then they
Right.
had sort of uh red coloured lines coming out of it. So I sort of done that here, but made this the Oak Point tree,
Oh, I
like
like
the
that. I
sort of
like
founding
that.
tree of the world.
That's awesome. The oak point tree. I get that. Yeah. No, that's very cool. I like how it's always there's one aspect of the game where yes, you could take a build and you could just copy it and basically one for one and make it as realistic as possible to the real thing. But then you can also do things like this where you come up with your own versions of it and your own interpretations, and you add things like the oak point tree in the plaza and tie it all in with your world. I think that's really cool.
Also done a thing with the banners down here because outside the original World Trade Center they had everybody's banner, like a country banner
Every
outside of
country
it.
is
So what I've done here is all my mates' cities or countries, whatever, outside on the top of the bottom of the building.
that's really cool.
So this is my flag here,
Whereabouts? Right.
and then I'm still
Which one's this at the
missing
end here? Or no? This
a
one.
couple flags here.
Oh yeah.
So these are blank at the moment.
That's cool though. That's great. That's really a cool detail. You have
These
just
flags are blank
blank
here. Then
ones.
I've got
You should add one
the
for. I
person
guess
I
you
gave a
can't.
shout out earlier, Starkiller. This
Okay.
is his flag.
I was gonna say you should add
His
one for
world.
well played games.
You should
Maybe
actually do a
that's not
tour of his
worthy.
city.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be
I think you
cool.
should do a tour of his world as well.
Yeah. Um. Okay. What? So now we move on to some more sort of other like more traditional office buildings, I suppose, as well. This is a very New York looking one as well. I think a lot of things here are kind of more New York looking for sure. But we'll maybe just fly by a couple of these ones, and then if you have anything to say about them, feel free. We have this white one in the back too as well. Is this going to be part of the future city, or is this one that you're like saving
Um,
over here for a clone?
this was actually down where those Victorian style buildings were
Right.
before. This is just sort of sat here at the moment. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might put it because I'm planning this area to sort of be office buildings of roughly this height on this sort of
Right.
side
Yeah.
of the motorway.
And so you've got a
So
big
I'm
sign
keeping it
on
there
here
for
as
now.
well. Is that supposed to be
Yeah,
like
they're just sort of billboards I was playing around with.
cool? That could be like you could
But I
do
did
your
just put a
own
couple
mini
more
Times
billboards on
Square or
buildings.
something. Anyway, we
Yeah.
could. So then we have another office building here. That one's looking pretty sweet. And again, you got a lot of different layers and three-dimensional aspects of that building. This white one we were just talking about, whether or not I liked it or not. I actually quite like this one. I like the step back pattern. I had a building like this in my sort of New York world that was black. That had this sort of step back pattern. Obviously not quite as good as this one, so I shouldn't really compare it. But it featured sort of the same idea. And I quite liked it, and I like how you've done this one in white because I think it's realistic as well. There's a lot of white office buildings, so that's
It's a
cool.
bit of a contrast with the more grey buildings around it.
Totally, it stands
Sort
out
of
a little
lighten up
bit.
the area a little bit.
And the this one I really like the base in it. I like how it kind of comes out. It's good detail, especially when the road doesn't really curve, but you still add that, which gives it a really nice bit of detail. Like usually you only see this when people actually make bends in the road, and it's just to accommodate for the bend. This is just to add a nice little bit of detail in the base, which I think turns out really nicely. Are these supposed to be more of sort of like residential row buildings in here, but more New York theme, much larger?
This is actually a very old building, but I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. You can't really see it,
Yeah,
so
no, it's
that's a
hidden.
good thing. It's not very good. I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I'm not sure with quite a lot of buildings in this world what I want to do with them. But
Right, yeah, still figuring everything out. The Oak Times here, is this like a New York Times kind of thing,
yeah,
but Oak Times?
yeah,
I
it's
like
a very
it.
iconic building in the world. Actually, you
For
can
sure.
see it from
This was here last time I
all
was
of
here,
the
right?
areas.
Was it?
No, this wasn't here actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
There
don't
was
think I
another
remember
building in
it.
its place.
Huh.
It was a really bad build, pretty much, which is what was there before.
Yeah, but
But
you know what? You'll see that
yeah,
one in the
I'm really
thumbnail,
happy
and
how this building's turned out.
yeah, it looks really cool, and the sign on it and everything works really well. And then just another sort of residential, I guess, as building over here. And then let's head over back into the Victorian area now, just because I'm really curious to see again. I want to look at these again much closer because again, you brought me through them. This is a
Let
nice
me turn
building
it
here
today.
too. Huh, that's cool. I'm getting distracted already. Here's the Victorian building. Let me get to the other side.
Whereabouts? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are really fantastic, like super detailed, leveled, oh, just crazy buildings. How long would one of these take
Where
you?
have you gone?
I'm just sorry, I'm just standing in front of this guy.
This one took me about 45, half an hour, 45 minutes
That's not that bad.
to do.
Huh.
This
That's
one
pretty good.
took
And no
a
commands
little
though,
bit
right?
less. No, I don't know. Well, slash fill I
Right,
can use,
fill
but you can't
command.
really use slash fill for all those details.
No.
So yeah, I did this one by hand. I had a
Jeez.
little bit of help from someone else who also has a city world.
Right. Huh.
Yeah, it was helping me make this one. And then there was actually another building here, but I got rid of it. As I like to do a lot of builds in this world.
Right. Because it was too close or whatever.
And I'm gonna put another sort of Victorian style building here
Huh. Cool.
in this place.
Yeah, that's
I'm working
awesome.
on a little park
They're really cool looking,
enclosed in
and
all these builds as well.
they have a cool feeling with the quartz and the brick. They really stand out from everything else. And there's a mall here as well. I gotta go into this.
Yeah, this mall was actually, I don't know if you remember, it was actually in the old skyscraper area.
Right. I was gonna say this was something that wasn't finished when I was on. Right. You're still working on it,
Um,
or was it finished?
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this one either. I don't know whether I want to get rid of it or move it again.
What, the mall? Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty
Yeah,
good here, but
I'm not
yeah,
sure
I know
whether
what
it
you
fits
mean.
here really.
Yeah. Maybe it belongs
I
in
was
more of a
making this more of an
suburban
old
area.
style one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Huh.
Yeah, sort
And
of
then this area, this is
that
kind
one,
of where we
moving it somewhere around there.
right. Yeah, it makes sense. Uh, were we in this area or no? I don't think we were actually. This is
No,
cool. I
we
like how you
were
have the outdoor
further if you come up
staircases.
to where I am.
We were sort of further up there, right?
We're over that way, yeah.
So these are just sort of more modest versions of, or I guess no, those are more modest versions of these. These are slightly larger versions of the buildings over there that kind of get you into the city, which is cool because when you look at it from this angle, especially, I'm gonna fly over here for a second just to get this kind of view, maybe just above the hill.
Yeah, what I want to try and recreate is sort of like a gradual height increase, taking you into more
That's
of the downtown
exactly where I was going with
skyscraper
that.
area.
So you start over here and you see all these kind of lower buildings, and then you just look this way and you can see them gradually getting up to the Oak Times building over there, and eventually I guess the Twin Towers. That's really cool, and a lot of people I think struggle with having that effect, and that they have a skyscraper right next to a bungalow, and it's like what the heck's going on? This is a really cool example of when you mix it in properly, and you can see the development, or at least the buildings up to the downtown, like there are in real life, and especially in New York and Chicago, I guess, in those kind of building or those kind of cities, you see these sort of like 4 or 5 story buildings that kind of surround the downtown and all the skyscrapers in their place there. So I think that's a really cool little feature there that maybe not everybody would catch, but it's it adds a lot of dynamics to the city and a cool element.
And the weird thing is, I got that view by accident basically. It was just a fluke that I actually managed to make that height increase look,
Really?
well, I'd say pretty decent. Yeah.
Because it looks
I literally
really
just
good.
making buildings and skyscrapers, and I flew up one day. I was like, oh,
Oh, look at
that
that!
actually
It all
looks
works
pretty
in.
good.
Yeah, for sure. It helps
Yeah.
add a really cool level of realism. There's one more building over here that I want to see. Also, I don't know if you wanted to share the church that you showed me earlier as well. I know it's not quite completed, but maybe you could even get some opinions in the comments about it. This is a cool building here as well. I love anything with like a corner, or not a corner building, but then with this kind of curve on the front. I really like that aspect and that detail on that building.
Yeah, a friend made this for me actually. He hasn't got a YouTube channel, so I would have shouted out if he did. But no, he's making a city. He's just started more of like a I think more of like a 19th century London sort of feel, and I think
Right.
he's made a really nice sort of London style building there. And I thought that actually kind of works well with these sort of more downtown buildings around it.
Yeah, no, it looks good. And it adds another, having some older buildings and some slightly newer buildings from different eras, of course, always adds detail as well. Yeah, it's really cool. Did you want to go and see is this a hangar base over here? What's going on in the distance over here? Just flying around now.
I actually don't have I don't have a clue. What is this over here?
Looks like an airport. It is an airport.
Who on earth's made that?
You didn't make this.
I've never noticed this before. Seriously, I've never noticed this before.
Huh. There you go.
Um,
A municipal airport. And then
well,
there's one building over here, just like
so
randomly
this is
placed.
a random military base in the middle of nowhere.
Huh. And there's this one.
Oh, thanks for finding that for me.
Oh, no problem. You know, that's why I'm here. Just come on, I locate
Yeah,
random
just
buildings.
find random military bases outside your world.
Well, obviously that wasn't the right way to the church. Then I was like, the church is looking a little weird over there. Oh, wait a second, that's not it.
No, seriously, I haven't actually seen that before.
That's weird, huh? Maybe I put
I
it
don't know
there.
who's made that. I mean, it's better than griefing, put it that way, but
No kidding.
it's just really random.
That's quite funny. Okay, well there you go. I guess there's a military base too. By the way, anybody that's wondering. So where was that church? It was over here, right? In the sand. There used to be
It
like an
is,
airport or something right here. That's gone though.
Are you behind me?
Sorry, I'm like way over now by the church area. There's a
Oh, you are? Yeah.
there's a building in the sand, which again I asked about earlier, and we're not really sure why it's there.
It was just some clone commands.
Just waiting to get
that my
placed.
friend
Waiting to
Starkey was
get
messing
placed
around
somewhere.
with. It was actually next to that modern skyscraper you were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah. Huh.
I mean, I'm being a bit vague, but
The black one, you mean?
this
Or that one? Yeah.
yeah, the black and white one next to the old style building.
Cool. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, it used to be next door to there, but
But then, so let's just finish it up here because we are going a little bit long. Not really, but we're doing pretty well. But here's the cathedral, and this is like you said, sort of based off the Notre Dame, but not really. But the towers obviously represent that, and you're discussing possibly changing it. I really like how it's looking right now, but you just want to talk about this for a second.
right, yeah, okay. So I started this quite a while ago. I've sort of just given up on it at the moment, but this is a vague plan of what it's going to look like, the actual outline of the church, because
I didn't even look
churches
at it from
built
up here.
well, churches and cathedrals built before 1965 were always built in the shape of a cross. I learned that from my RE lesson.
I didn't know that.
And I've sort of applied that here. Yeah, more modern churches aren't shaped like that, but yeah,
Wow.
and that's what all cathedrals are. Like they're built in a cross shape. The news you have Salisbury Cathedral, Notre Dame, have like a big spire in the middle of the cross.
Right.
So where I would place this granite here, this is where a big spire would be. higher
Right.
than
Popping
the-
out right there.
Higher than the two towers.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. What a
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not
a
sure
build.
about this at the moment. I'm not doing anything with it.
Yeah, still just thinking about it. At least
This
it's over
sitting at the
here
moment.
and like kind of at least I guess kind of out of the way in a good way or a bad way. I don't know, but at least you can come and play around with it or leave it for periods of time, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I've got a lot of other things I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah, no kidding. And then there's a couple little suburban places over here. I don't know. I'm just getting distracted again.
I don't know whether these were here before.
I don't know.
I'm not sure whether these houses were here when
Is
you.
this where
do
the suburban area is
you
going
did
to
the
start
original
though?
tour. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna get rid of these houses. They're old and not that good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna redo this area once I get around to doing it, which will probably be in about a year's time because I've got so much other stuff I want to get done. But
Cool.
there you
Wow.
go.
Yeah, that's a really it's a really cool city, and again, if you guys want more on it, do you post about this on YouTube fairly frequently, or
I
have
do,
other
yeah.
videos about it? Yeah, so
I made a video earlier,
yeah,
actually.
if you
But
guys are
when this video
interested,
comes out, I made it earlier.
yeah. So if you guys are interested in checking out this world and seeing more about it, obviously check out Folded Tomato's channel, and go subscribe and just take a look around, and why not? And see what kind of videos and what kind of builds are being added to this world, and stay up to date with it and whatnot. Definitely one of the cooler worlds for sure. Again, there's a lot of kind of really cool, realistic things going on in this world, and I'm quite a fan of it. I didn't even see this park. Check this out. This is more of that hill, I guess, but there we go. But yeah,
We could have done it a lot more in depth, but
we
you've
could
got
have, yeah.
to record it in under half an hour.
I try to make
whatever
these
it is.
videos somewhat reasonable in length, to the point where I'm not I don't know. I
Yeah.
just find if I go into every
We'll probably
build and
would
if I
take about
go
an
in
hour and a
depth and
half going through every single building.
yeah, it just people I don't blame people. They don't you just get bored of it or whatever. So it hopefully I'm doing you
Yeah.
guys a favor here, trying to go through things relatively quickly. You guys can get a couple ideas, going to a couple buildings and whatnot. But I think we've done a pretty good job. I'm up here on the right where we started, looking as the sun goes down and everything's lit up, which is really nice as well. It looks really fantastic.
Yeah, I like the world. I like the way my world looks at night. I can't speak.
For sure. Yeah. So thanks again for inviting me on, and I'm sure we'll be back here at some point in the future to check things
Yeah,
out
maybe
again.
another 9 months and
Maybe
everything else
another
will be
nine
gone and
months. Yeah,
be a new world to look at.
definitely. Yeah, that'll be exciting. But for now, we are gonna leave it there. Yeah, definitely. Again, go check out. I'll go hover over the signs again here. Go subscribe to these two channels. The people behind this really cool world, and be sure to give them a little sub and go follow and follow what's happening on the world. But that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, please don't forget to go below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video.